Um, well, yeah, biblical Christianity is rooted in the message of the Scripture, but sometimes the intertestamental literature and this background that we've talked about that provide these cultural scripts help us to understand what's in the Scripture. So they aren't Scripture themselves, and they aren't treated as Scripture, but they sometimes can illuminate or help us to understand what the Scripture is saying. They're like support material. And so a lot of the teaching that I do is designed to equip our seminary students to be able to understand how this background works, where to find it, and how it helps to illuminate certain texts. And we're very clear this is not Scripture on the one hand, but it certainly helps you to understand what's going on. Let me give you one illustration. I've talked a lot in this interview about the Maccabean War and the kind of estrangement that exists between Jew and Gentile in the history of their relationship to one another. There's a very wonderful text in 1 Maccabees, part of what we call the Apocrypha, not a part of Scripture, at least except for perhaps Catholics, okay? But not a part of Scripture, but an illumination of what the relationship between Jews and Gentiles were like, because the Gentile culture so threatened Jewish culture during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes. In chapter 1, in a little section, it says that the pressure that culture put on people was so great that women lost their beauty. Okay? I tell people, you know it's a bad time when there are no beautiful women around. Okay? That's a hard and tough time. It shows the estrangement between Jew and Gentile at the time, which means that the reverse of that, the reconciliation that happens between Jew and Gentile, is also a significant and transforming move in the history of humanity. Okay, so a text like that is in Scripture, but it illustrates the environment in which Scripture is functioning and helps you to understand what's going on within the Scripture a little better as a result.